Hey Ryan, and hello everybody. Ryan, what can you do before, during, and also after call two, like the strategy call to really nail it, like to basically close the deal or give the person really that you're speaking to really good kind of value understanding before, during, and after the call? Because I feel that that's a place where a lot of people, like a lot of maybe people with bad sales skills, kind of don't like the conversion doesn't happen, and you leave a lot of money on the table there.
For sure. Great question. Something that I think is important is that, I always use the blueprint versus Weber's because not only is the sales cycle different here, blueprint versus Weber's, meaning it's a lot shorter. It's usually one or two phone calls. We're speaking directly to the person here at the blueprint who's usually in charge of the finances, right? AKA you all agency owners or people on staff versus when we're selling at Weber's, there's usually budgets that you have to deal with. There's usually other agencies that you're pitching against and other proposals. There's just a whole bunch of other stuff and noise going on in those sales cycles, which means it's usually a much longer and more complicated sales process, right? That's one thing, and I'll tie this up for you, Paul, in a second. But the other thing is that a lot of you have, well, everyone here for the most part has spoken to a salesperson, right? So you understand it. The word that comes to mind is aggressive sales model here, where our salespeople are trained to help you all to make a decision and do so quickly. Versus at the agency side of things, it's much different, right? In terms of those traditional, when you say bad at sales, right, this is what I'm talking about, Paul, right? The people here at Blueprint, our sales staff is much less consultative and much more sales-oriented sales professionals, right? Meaning we hired them because they were great salespeople. They had the good hard and soft skills that salespeople have, right? Really good communicators, great on video, good listeners, good at asking questions. And I also say this a lot when it comes to like great salespeople. Great salespeople are really good at making prospects uncomfortable, but in a good way. Because a lot of the times when it comes to sales, we have to help them, a prospect, understand that they've almost kind of got to get out of their own way. Like nobody wants to pay for stuff. So we've got to help them get out of their own way, especially here at the Blueprint. It's much different in the agency world. And what I mean by that is I've learned this the hard way. And we've tested this too, because I've actually had Alan, if you guys know Alan, who's one of our sales reps here at the Blueprint, who is kind of like a purebred salesperson, right? Just really good, your traditional salesperson. But we put him on a couple sales calls at Weber's, our agency, and he was the one who was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is not, I don't know how to sell like this because it's much more consultative, right? So where I'm getting with this is a long-winded way of saying that at the agency, you don't have to be good at sales because prospects are not looking for like a hard close because there's so much stuff that's outside of their control. Again, budgets, timing, they're working with an agency that you're pitching against other agencies. So where I'm going with this is that I tell people all the time is that don't get caught up in like the hard or soft sales skills, right? In terms of the traditional thought of I'm not good at sales, it doesn't really apply here. The sales skills that you need at the agency are one, being able to communicate on Zoom, which I feel like all of us are now post-COVID kind of okay doing that. It's really just having a conversation with people. And then two, in terms of traditional sales skills, is being incredibly organized and making sure that you're doing your follow-ups, you're getting proposals out on time, you're managing a CRM properly, things along that nature. But like, you don't have to be a good salesperson. In fact, I think it actually can work against you because when you do push too hard sometimes because prospects are talking to other agencies, they can be like, man, forget Paul. Like he's being annoying. I'm not into this hard close thing. I'm looking for more of a partner who understands our problems and has a solution for it, right? So where I'm going with this is a very long-winded way of saying is that you want to focus on being much more consultative as opposed to being a traditional salesperson. So I don't know if you've gone through any of the material that we have in the Blueprint sales module, but something that we do, which is really impactful, is what we call our top 10 analysis. It forces you to be consultative because it goes through basically presenting them 10 opportunities where you can help them grow, also highlighting some issues and some things that they might be struggling with. That really becomes the core of everything that you do for them in terms of your pitch, because you're going to build your services, you're going to build your scope of work off the back of what you find in that top 10 analysis. So, you're actually in a better position here not being a good salesperson because you can learn sales skills. You really can. You can learn how to manage a CRM. You can learn how to do follow-ups. You can learn how to ask leading questions, stuff like that. And again, we've got all that stuff inside the sales module in the Blueprint in terms of the questions that you should ask during discovery, stuff like that. But what's really hard to learn is how to be a good consultant, right? And that's why, for me, the only people that really work in sales at our agency are consultants and people who know SEO and marketing very well, because a prospect wants to talk about themselves. They want to talk about their website. They want to talk about strategies before they sign, versus you come into a program like this And it's much more of a, I guess the right word would be emotional decision, right? In terms of joining this program because of the pain points that you're experiencing as an agency owner. And you're just overwhelmed by people in this community and testimonials and results that, make you feel like you're making the right decision. So it's a much different, like that's why people get tripped up here. They come to the program, they're like, damn, like the sales process here in this type of salespeople, I don't have that, which I don't either. I'm not really good at making people uncomfortable. I don't do blueprint sales a lot because it's not really in my skill set. I'm a very consultative person by nature, and I often give away the farm without actually getting the money from them. It's not a skill set that I possess, but it's better. Like, that's why I'm also very good at agency sales, because when I get on the call with a prospect, they're like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, and that's what they want. They want a consultant. They want somebody that they can trust. They want somebody that sees the problems and has a vision in the playing field, understanding how to fix those problems. I don't know if that helped. If you have any follow-ups on that, Paul.
Yeah, that's very good. I mean, I feel like that's a really deep hole that you can go down, like how to do the sales process and everything. But yeah, be consultative, and the agency model is different than like high ticket one-time offer type of thing. It's two different worlds. 100%. So you can do your thing as a marketer and be comfortable. Like, you don't have to have these limiting beliefs that I'm a bad salesperson to be an agency owner and generate leads and close deals.
100%. People don't want it. And I've lived this. I've tested it firsthand. It's actually why right now, we recently moved off of our primary salesperson that we had at the agency 2 months ago. We moved him to doing outbound and prospecting and stuff like that. Because it was better fit for him. And right now I have essentially our head of SEO, who's kind of like our head of strategy, also COO, who's doing the sales stuff. And right away we saw like a 20% increase in close rates, because he's approaching it from the point of an analyst, where he's taking the time to go through their problems. He's explaining it to them. He's also giving them a taste of what it's like to work with us, as opposed to a salesperson who it's just a whole different energy. So very well put in terms of limiting beliefs. You don't have to have them here. You just got to focus on, doing the right analysis for them and really proving your skills. And that's really the best sales approach from an agency point of view.